All rise. All county legislative body now in session. Chairman Lawrence Smith presiding, Mayor Rob Mathis present.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for each one that's here this evening. We pray for the ones that couldn't be here for whatever reasons. We ask, Father, that each thing that we say and do this evening will be pleasing to you and be uplifting to our county. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, we'll get started. If members would please vote present. Next thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Do we have a motion to approve? All right, that motion passed 14-0. Next thing is election appointments and reports. Notaries, Amy Webb is renewal. Do we have a motion to approve? Mr. Esslinger, seconded by Mr. Vassar. Any questions? If not, you can vote at this time, please. All right, that passed 14-0. Next thing is the matter of accepting the following court reports, General Sessions Court and County Clerk. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion made by Ms. Blazer, seconded by Ms. Ball. Any questions? If not, vote at this time, please. All right, that motion carried. In the matter of any committee reports, budget.
Mr. Chairman, the Budget Committee recommends the approval of the attached transfers and amendments and waives the reading of the same for the county.
We have a motion by Mr. Vassar to approve, and seconded by Mr. Hudson. Any questions? Hearing none, we'll vote this time. All right, that motion carried.
There was no transfers or amendments for the school system. The next one, the Budget Committee recommends approval of the amendment for circuit court to move funding back to the circuit court budget from the liquid tax collections in the amount of $17,926. I want to note that she told me that she wanted to move $4,000 into 194 jury fees and the rest, the remaining $13,926 into 332 legal notices.
All right, do we have? All right, we have a motion to approve. Ms. Blazer, second by Mr. Hudson. Any questions? Hearing none, we'll vote this time, please. All right, that motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, the Budget Committee recommends the approval of the CDBG grant resolution attached.
Do we have a motion to approve? Mr. Vassar, seconded by Mr. McMahon. Any questions? not, we'll vote at this time, please. That motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, the final thing for Budget Committee is Budget Committee recommends the approval of the budget calendar attached.
We have a motion by Mr. McMahon, second by Mr. Hudson. Any questions? If not, vote at this time, please. That motion carries.
That's all from Budget.
All right, thank you. Anything for sanitation? Anything for general? Public safety.
Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
Public safety.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman and everyone present, the Public Safety Committee did meet. We met on January 11th, 2024. The Public Safety Committee recommends that the county request that the 1 acre of land that was given to the city for an animal control to be returned to this county. This is due to the fact that somewhat around 16 months ago, the land was given for a joint animal control between Cocke County and the city of Newport. Therefore, nothing has been done. We have to get this animal control, we have to get it under control now. It's getting out of hand. So, I would like to present that to you.
So, let me just clarify again what you're asking.
I'm asking for, we are asking in the public safety for the 1 acre of land that we donated to the city of Newport for an animal control, joint control.
Right, but
with-
you're asking to get it back.
We're asking it to come back for nothing has been done for a period of 16 months.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the county attorney, is it already been titled to them, deeded to them?
Not that I'm aware of, but I wasn't part of that.
It was deeds to the city, when the deed was made for. The city administrator contacted me this morning and asked us to prepare a deed back to the county for that property.
There you
So,
go. They're gonna need it back.
I think it's just approved by the order.
Okay, so you're asking for a motion to approve that move, right?
I am sorry.
Has any, that's fine. Okay, since you put that in form of a motion, do we have a second? All right, Mr. Stepp, second. And while they're doing that, let's talk just a little bit. Has any communication been made with the city on what, is there another piece of property they might be interested in or something, or?
I can answer this.
Yes, go ahead.
If you,
No, you go ahead, sir. You go ahead.
yeah, I spoke to the city manager, Mr. Fincham, about that, and they're in agreement to give this property back, it just has to be approved by the alderman. I've talked to them about the possibility of the 9 acres that the county has out on the Highway 411 that's not commercially viable. Not the one on the corner, but the one down the road, that long sliver piece. They may be interested in that, and I think, of course, that would be subject to approval by the CLB, which is to see if they're even interested. They're supposed to be going to look at that pretty soon to find out if that's something they're even interested in or not. So that's the extent of the conversation, at least that I've had with the city on that.
Okay. Well, I just wonder, because that's our best option, is if we can partner with them in some way. I do know I know 911 was also looking for some property too, so I don't know, we want to make sure that, we kind of work with them in a way too.
That's kind of the thinking there is, and I also had a conversation with Nancy Hansel last night about that. She said a couple of those folks have gone out and looked at that same property. Now, that's 9 acres, so there's plenty of room for both of them on that property, both animal control and 911. So, a couple of them have gone down and looked at it. She and some others are supposed to look at it soon. The weather and the holidays and the weather have held a lot of that up. So, they should be getting down and look at it. I'm hoping here in the next couple of weeks, and should maybe have something for us by the next meeting. I'm hoping for that.
Okay. All right, well, we have a motion. Any other questions before we vote on this? All right, now officially, the motion was made by Mr. Bright and seconded by Mr. Pastor. If there's no more questions, we'll go ahead and vote at this time to do that. All right, that motion passed. Anything else?
Yes, sir. One more thing, we would like, we did bring up in the public safety meeting about the animal control. We are under the understanding that the sheriff's office is working on a facility, and we would like to know, has the sheriff heard anything about the building that was going to be damaged by the county for the animal control?
As a temporary.
As a temporary site.
Yeah, the Smith building was rejected today. I got a text today from Michael Carter, said it was rejected, they're gonna be using that facility.
Okay.
The last thing we have is we would like to invite the EMA director, Mr. Esway, to address for some emergency traffic.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Chairman. So the last 10 to 14 days have brought some weather events to the county. I spoke with the mayor this morning. I just wanted to bring everyone up to speed on what was done and what we're looking ahead at. There'll be a hot wash sometime, probably middle of this week, while everything's still fresh in everyone's minds with the chiefs and the sheriff and everyone else. And as always with a major event, I'll prepare an after-action report. It's usually about 8 or 10 pages long. Talk about what went well, where our opportunities are for improvement, where the chinks in the armor are. So you're not going to get anything near that tonight, but just a few of the wave tops. The mission of the Emergency Management Agency in theory is simple: preservation of life, property, and agriculture. That's why we exist, but it's only easy as it's written because there's a lot that goes into that. I gauge mission success off 3 measurable factors. 1, no loss of life to any county citizen. 2, no injury or loss of life to any emergency responder. And 3, no total loss or damage to any county equipment or emergency equipment that belongs to the volunteer fire departments. Anything that we use, no loss or damage. So if we take a look at those 3 parameters, it was not a total mission success, but it was manageable. Parrotsville lost attack 14, which I affectionately call the Beast. That's that great big brush truck that's out of commission. Boys last night hit a patch of ice, went into a tree, and we've got some front end damage and some damage to the leaf spring. So it was towed safely back to Parrotsville garage, and we're waiting on an insurance adjuster to come out and take a look at it. We also lost Wildland 1 out of Cosby. Wildland 1 also had problems on the ice, damaged the rim, and a few other items, and because it had to sit for a little while, there were some freezing issues with some of the equipment that pumps that water out. We had no injury to any of our emergency responders throughout the entire event, and there was no loss of life. The count right now throughout the state of Tennessee, because of these 2 events, I believe a loss of life count that is related to this incident were at 21, maybe 22 as of today. Cocke County has 0. I sent Mayor Mathis a news report this morning of a 73-year-old man that was found dead at the church steps, looking for a place to get warm. He was part of their unhoused population. And there evidently wasn't a shelter or warming station near where he was, so he died right there on the church steps. Heartbreaking and tragic. We did not have that happen here, although it very well could have been, had it not been for the joint task force between the county and the city. Mayor Mathis, Mayor Dykes, Mr. Fincham got together with Director Dockery from the Community Center and all of our nonprofits. We met on 3 different occasions at the Operations Center and formulated a plan before any of this weather was even forecasted on what are we going to do, how are we going to do it, what are our techniques, tactics, and procedures. And I will tell you, aside from a few little glitches here and there, it worked beautifully. Our unhoused population found refuge at the community center. It was staffed by Director Dockery and his people. There was a call for additional volunteers to get there to help out because there was a good turnout. However, some of those folks couldn't get there because of the road conditions, but I believe there's a few of you sitting up there today that pulled an all-nighter or two up there at the community center, so thank you for your service. Director Dockery did a hell of a job. It's something I don't believe it's ever been done before at that facility. He just made it work. The Red Cross came through. They gave me permission to pull items off the Red Cross trailer that we have staged in Newport at Station 2, where the other Newport Fire Department is. We delivered cots to the 911 facility because they, as we say up in Northern Ohio, they had to go to the mattresses a couple of nights because of the weather. So we made sure they were taken care of. And we delivered supplies in an enclosed trailer from the Red Cross trailer and some things emergency management had to support that effort. Just a couple of honorable mentions. The 911 dispatchers did a phenomenal job, as they always do, but not just them, priority ambulance as well. We lost communication for a portion of the county for a couple of days. The tower at English Mountain went down with a power outage. I have been told by Land Air that that's a matter of getting gas piped into that facility, making the connection and having it inspected for the backup generator power to work. But Land Air, Forestry, believe it or not, and Chris Calhoun from Newport Utilities and I all work together to get power restored to that facility. It did go down a second time, but it was only down for a short time. What that does is when English Mountain goes down, priority ambulance service has to switch over to one of the other fire channels. And with everything that we had going on and those during that time frame, there was a lot of traffic on the radio. But again, it was manageable. I'm going to embarrass him for just a moment, but Sheriff Ball did a hell of a job this weekend. We had a lot of events this weekend going on with vehicles trapped up in Hartford, Grassy Fork area. Folks traveling from their Airbnbs, going back home, not following the GPS and not obeying the signs. A tour bus got stuck up there yesterday was that yesterday afternoon? Casey Kelly from the school system came through and sent school buses up there, and then we had emergency responders shoveling folks down in side-by-sides and four-wheelers and vehicles. The Hummer was called into service. There is not a single piece of equipment on wheels in the last 14 days that's owned by emergency management that was not called into service, except for the jet boat. Thank goodness, nobody wanted to get on the lake. But the Hummer was called into service, and that's the thing that we look at when we talk about emergency management vehicles. You know, I don't purchase anything, whether it be with taxpayer money or a grant or otherwise, that cannot serve a multitude of missions. Right now, if you've seen the Hummer, that was junk when we found it. We rebuilt it into something special. It looks like a swift water rescue apparatus, and it is, but it also pulled people down off the mountain this weekend too, and got into waiting vehicles. Trailers were called into service, the F-350, everything was called into service, and Sheriff Ball did a phenomenal job of helping to organize that effort. Swiftwater Rescue Team was in action 11 times during these events. The first was on Lindsay Gap Road. We pulled an older couple out of their home, and everything else, believe it or not, was vehicles in the water. Overestimating your driving ability on icy conditions, underestimating the vehicle and the tires, and just skipping right off the road into the Pigeon or the French Broad River. So one lesson that we learned from that is we need to start carrying yellow caution tape with us in all the swiftwater vehicles and mark the area, because I will not put my rescuers in danger to retrieve a total vehicle unless it's an environmental problem. You know, if it's not moving fuel or oil or anything like that, that vehicle is going to stay there until I can safely gear up the guys, put them in there and hook up for the tow trucks. But we got multiple calls on the same vehicles in the same waterway. You know, there's a black cart and ambulance there. So the one thing I will tell you that is an immediate need that we are going to have to figure out, that the people smarter than I have worked on and failed at, is that we've got to figure out a way to get people to stop routing through Cocke County that are coming back from Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Groundhog Road, Lindsay Gap Road, all those roads that ice over flood. We had this problem a couple of years ago, if you recall, vehicles, we had a line of trap up there for days until the snow and ice melted. I don't know what the solution is, but I'm gonna be getting some pretty smart people involved in this to try to figure out how we close these roads. The road department does not have enough signs to close these roads. The volunteer fire department's pitching what they can, but this stuff's expensive, and it either washes away or it gets stolen in the middle of the event, and people still drive around the stuff. The only way to solve this problem is, the issues that we're having is not locals, and it's not the local folks that are getting stuck. They know what the road's gonna do, and they know what kind of vehicle they have, and whether to try it or not. It's the folks passing through in BMWs, that slide off the road, can't make that trip. So that's the one thing I'll say, There's plenty that we learned from this incident. I will tell you, it was a far cry from being perfect, but it was pretty good.
Lindsay Gap, when Google keeps sending them through, GPS keeps showing them to go through.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
need to talk to them.
And folks prior to me have tried, but I'm gonna get FEMA involved and see what we can get done with that. But that's the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway I can offer you today is we gotta figure out how to keep these people from traveling through Cocke County in these big rigs and these tour buses. So the tour bus thing was a go-go. 54 people, tour bus tried to make it up, overestimated its capabilities and got stuck, and it was just a mess. We had to open up, was it Smoky Mountain School we opened up, brought them down, shoveled them down on four-wheelers and whatnot to get to the school buses that Casey Kelly provided, got them to school, got them warmed up, we got them water, we got them fed. We got the school bus back down the mountain, and then they were off to wherever they were going. That's all I have. I'm not answering any questions you all might have.
You mean you do not want people coming from there just for storms and cold weather, right?
We prefer, the folks that live up in there would probably never like to see another semi-truck, tour bus, or vehicle again going through their narrow roads.
Mr. Rice, he's addressed that, we've tried to get that addressed all these times. Those roads up there are not should never be public traffic. I mean, really, they're just ignorant.
Those roads were designed for Cocke County citizens and folks that live and work in that area. They weren't designed for, Saturday checkout from the Airbnbs and a whole convoy of vehicles coming through the county. They weren't designed for that. So, if we can figure out a way to route them around and put them in Newport, spend some money, I'll figure that out along that.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. McMahon,
I want to revisit the animal control thing real quick. So one is our contingency plan while we're waiting. Are we still going to look for a building maybe that we can utilize?
Yeah, I'm gonna look, but we've had people reach out about rental property and things like that. We'll just keep working until we find something that is feasible within the budget that's already in existence. Because obviously we can't do anything unless we get a new budget. But we will continue to look and monitor different places to rent property that can be afforded through that budget. And then, I'll start tonight. We've got to have a building, because, I got two over under the admin of the jail right now, over there, we're feeding around the clock, and two, it's eating pigs up there. But, and we got Monty and Cece's got 5 Rottweilers in their house right now that we've got, so we're spreading dogs all over the, they live in Steeple, so if they get out, it's all this county deal, but, we're trying to spread them out.
We still have the money that we talked about in this public safety.
Yeah, the money was budgeted last year for, I think, there was a certain amount of money that was budgeted for animal control, animal shelter, in the last budget. So that money can be implemented, and really truly, as long as we don't go beyond a year on a contract with somebody, or go to the budget, next budget, like June 30th, we can do an agreement between now and June 30th and pay $700, $800 a month rent, somewhere to store them and feed them, and hopefully get them adopted out or transfer them or do something. So we got people willing to help adopt them out, we just gotta have somewhere to put them. And we're not gonna take in every dog in the county either. If we have to be an aggressive animal or an stray animal that's causing problems, we're not just gonna go get animals because somebody's fed them for 6 years and decided they didn't want them. I mean, that's the problem. People decide they don't want them, they just dump them out. But that's, we can fix the plan, it's gonna have to be something quick.
Thank you, Sheriff. Anybody else? Chairman, may I speak?
So I've got all the county-owned properties, which is what I prepared this for. I know the Public Safety Committee had asked for a list of that. I have a list of all the county-owned properties, their tax cards, and the maps and locations of where they're at. It should contain what buildings are on them, and all of the information that's needed for you all to look at. But this is a list that I wanted to, and I didn't know who to give to here, but wanted to give to you tonight. But this is a list of all the county-owned properties, along with the map showing where they're at, and the tax cards showing what kind of buildings are on those properties.
Yeah, and what I will probably do is turn this over to, I'd like to turn this over to Sheriff and Mr. Basher. Who's the chairman now of Public Safety? If you don't care, you can get with the sheriff and you can look at this, maybe come up with something too. Okay? All right, thank you. Where are we? All right, anything for purchasing? Oh, I'm sorry, anything else in public safety at all? Okay. Purchasing, anything? All right. In the matter report from the county mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief. First off, I would like to offer our sincerest condolences to Commissioner Brown for the recent passing of your brother. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. We hope that your family is endured this as well. Next is kind of the same line of comment as the Commissioner, or excuse me, Director Esway. I just want to commend everyone across the county, this CLB, for the way that the last 2 weeks, we had a windstorm, rains, floods, snow, ice, sleet. We had just about everything that Mother Nature could throw at us in such a short period of time. It's been, I don't know how many years it's been since our county has been subjected to this kind of weather with this period of time. You know, it's extreme cold. But I just want to say that it was really, I'm very grateful to have seen the spirit of teamwork and cooperation across the county, between the city, the county, the utilities, everybody joined in. And I think that is a reflection of the teamwork that's been built here on this CLB and the example that you all have set in working with both my administration and everybody else working with the city. And I just commend you all for setting that example. In fact, as again Director Esway had alluded to, we have a few members of this board who actually volunteered and served overnight in the warming center down at the community center. So that kind of cooperation is a rare and precious thing, and I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for it. One thing that also occurred that had a huge impact across the county, and as a matter of fact, it's going to become a procedure. NUB actually approached us this last Thursday and asked if we could get this codified into an actual written procedure. Was we received a call during the windstorms when we had the mass power outages, and NUB said their guys are spending more time clearing roads than they were getting it power turned back on these different places. They couldn't get to where the outages were. So the Director Esway contacted the volunteer fire departments and the road department, and they coordinated with NUB, and the NUB said, we need roads cleared here, 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 and here, and they jumped on it. And as a result, they were able to get those outages, and NUB was able to get the power turned back on. They cleared 1,500 outages in 24 hours, just by utilizing that spirit of teamwork and cooperation. And between that, the warming station, and all of the other, everything, all the things that we're mentioning, these are just the tip of the iceberg of what happened around this county. We saw the best of our people in the last 2 weeks, and I'm very proud to call myself a Power County, and I hope that you all are too, and I'm proud to be working with you all. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. The last thing that I have for you is, in the matter of the appointments to the E911 board, we have 3 members who have rotated off. I'm proposing just to be renewed for their have new terms. And those 3 individuals are Vanessa Dennis, Brian Sutherland, and Maurice Schultz, and I'll submit those names to you all for reappointment to the E911 board for new terms. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, the names, do we have a motion to approve those? Can you do it here, please? Let her get it in there. We have a motion by Mr. Miller and second by Mr. Eslinger. Any questions or concerns? If not, you can vote at this time. All right, that motion carried. I think I saw some of those members. I thought Mr. Maurice, I want to congratulate you on your retirement. And I want to thank you for the service for this city and the county for all the years. Appreciate you.
I appreciate that. It's an honor to serve. To echo what the mayor of Stressway said, during my term in the past 5 decades serving in law enforcement, I've seen a lot of things happen in this county. And I'll never forget when the tornado hit the city of Newport and they were saying 501 Long Creek's in town, what do you want? And all I have to tell them is go to the hospital, pick a street and saw your way out. And they cleared roads to get people to our hospital immediately when there's no way the utility company could ever gotten in there and put the power back on, let alone get the infrastructure replaced. But it's an honor to have served in this county and this city, and some of y'all might remember I served as a deputy sheriff in the early 80s. So
I remember because you little 19-year-old kid came on the state ride with you on the weekend.
it was
And you taught me a lot.
And I truly appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve on the 911 board as well.
Thank you. Next, a matter of report from county attorney, and the first thing is Mr. Green addressing the commission regarding the purchase and sale agreement for 2600 Looney Road.
Good evening, everyone. We have a purchase agreement or a contract for property at 2600 Looney Road. This is property that the county received in the tax sale in 2013. So this is a piece of property that at the 2013 tax sale didn't sell. So it was bought by the county for back taxes. The procedure for doing this is they put in an offer, bring it to the county, I submit that offer to the CLB. You all either approve or disapprove of the offer. But even, no matter what the price is, once this goes, and I run this in the paper, I keep this open for 2 weeks and for a public auction and give anyone, anywhere, the opportunity to come in and raise the bid on this price. So we have an offer for this property at 2600 Looney Road for $9,500 by Mr. Joshua A. Pence. And so I would just need permission from you all to accept that offer, and then I will start the paperwork, run it in the newspaper, and then we'll have it open for public auction for 2 weeks. Out of all these that we've done before, I've never sold it for the original contract price. It's always gone up. I don't know that this one will, but usually we have people who are interested in it. Once they see it running in the paper, we get them to come in and then they increase the bid. But I'm here tonight to just present this contract. It is a piece of surplus tax sale property that the county owns.
How many acres is it?
That I don't know.
You know what, Mr. Green, you know what the appraisal is for the property?
I actually gave the sheriff my list of all the properties the county owns here.
So, Mr. Green, is this like a standard tax sale property? The only money the county keeps is what's due in taxes?
No, so this is a property that the county actually, no one bid it in. So I don't know what it looks like, but in 2013, no one would bid it, even for what the taxes were. So the county took it in, a deed was made to the county, and so it has sat there off the tax rolls since 2013. And it's sat there as vacant property for that time period and has not collected any taxes. And so this would at least get it back on the tax roll. We would have to do an auction, so it would at least, and it would go for whatever it could sell for at public auction.
Unless anybody else wants to look, is anybody else?
5 acres, so 5 acres according to our property assessor.
Yeah, it's, the land market value is $27,800 for that piece of property.
Okay, that's land market value?
Yeah, it's actually sold before for $34,900.
Okay.
Back in
2001.
2001. So like I say, it came into the county's hands in 2013.
And the offers,
The offer is $9,500, and then like I say, it has to go to public auction at that point, so with that as our starting bid.
We use it as an animal shelter.
Yes, we could.
Mr. Gresham, would you want to speak?
Well, he may have answered my question. I was going to ask, does Cocke County have to sell this land
They do
at
not.
this time?
They do not. It is up to you all. It is county-owned property. This is just the procedure for anyone who, this is not the procedure like for buying just a piece of property the county bought. This is only the procedure for buying county tax sale property. So this property was obtained by the county through the tax sale, and so this is the procedure the county is supposed to use to sell tax sale property.
So does the property have to be for sale right now?
It does
Well,
not-
his question, no, it's not. The
Okay.
answer is no.
Okay.
This guy just offered to buy it. We can decide whether we want to sell it or not.
Correct, that's what I
But
hear.
once
you all tell.
we vote to sell it, we've started the process for them to start bidding on it.
Okay.
I have a question. On properties and on any property taken in by the county, can the county set a floor on that as far as the appraisal value and that's it? And we won't sell it for less than the appraisal value? I mean, can the county do that when you go into a sale like that? I mean, set that floor for what it's appraised
So,
for?
under the statute, all the tax sale property that the county has, and we're supposed to have a committee that looks at these. Now, in the last 3 tax sales, the last 6 years, the county's not taken any. I've sold every single piece of tax sale property. The county's not had to buy anything back. We've actually had bidders that take. So we haven't really had to do much of this, but the procedure is for there to be a committee that looks at tax sale properties that the county takes in. The county's allowed to listen. You can hire a realtor, but the committee has to run them through, vote to do so, and the county sets the price on them when that happens. Otherwise, people can come
I
in
mean,
and make an
I feel
offer.
like that we're at the mercy of that and we'll get less than actually what it's been appraised for. And that's why I was asking if you can set a floor for it for your tax sale.
Or could the county submit?
Not for the tax sale.
Can the county submit a counter offer?
Well, the county can, one, reject this here today. And then we could maybe get a committee that could come back and look at what's in here. This is not just tax sale property, so this has got the courthouse, the jail, everything the county owns is in this list here. So this is not just tax sale property.
I mean, I just think-
In order to do what you're asking to do,
Right.
what
We
you
need
will
that
need to
committee.
do is reject this tonight, don't sell it, and then, as Mr. Green said, get a committee together, go over this, and if you want to get a realtor and set a bottom dollar on these, you won't sell, then that's up to us. We can make that decision.
I mean, I just hate to think that the county's losing
Right.
money on some of this
Right.
land if we're gonna sell it. You know, a lot of times in a tax sale like that, it doesn't sell for appraised value, a
Right.
lot of times. And we're gonna lose money if it's appraised at, what did you say, Jason, 27?
it's 27.9.
I mean,
27.8.
you know, you might end up getting for 15 or
That's the
something like that, but we're still
market
losing
value.
money.
Right.
So I'm saying, if we could get that money out of it, it would be better to have a committee to do that and try to get all that money.
Mr. Hudson, would you want to make a comment, Paul?
Yeah, why is this problem, why wasn't this offered for public auction way before now? It's been sitting here for 10 years and we've not
Once
got any
it
back.
comes into the county, it's county-owned property. The someone needs to do something to make it available for sale.
That's up to us, if we want to make, that's like the property out here on 411, same way. You know, it's ours, it's going to sit there until we decide to sell it, or whatever, but that's our decision on how we want to do that. And
Just
we've
a
got
little
some-
tidbit of information, there's 5 acres of property adjoining this property. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the same guy that's wanting to buy this property. He's got that for sale for $119,900. I know there's a little bit of infrastructure on it, about $30,000-$40,000.
Yeah.
But you're still talking $70,000 or $80,000 for basically the same type of property that
All right.
Mr. Gray's talking about.
All right, well, at this time, he's wanting to make it, do we have a motion to put this up for bid, to sell it? And so, Mr. Rasher, you made the motion to
I
do
make
that?
a motion not to sell. the
Okay,
property.
well, you need to withdraw it on this. can you take your motion back, that you made the motion, because the motion on the floor originally was to put it up for sale. I mean, that's what Mr. Green was bringing to the board. Let me clarify that. Can you do that?
Can we just let it out?
Well, we can, hold
Let it
on.
out for not a second.
If we don't get a second, it will die for lack of second. Now, does anybody want a second the fact that there's a motion to sell it at this time? Going once? Twice? All right, that motion fell for lack of second. So my advice then is, again, if that's something that you're interested in, probably the general committee would be the best to handle that to start it. If you want to look at it, selling some of this, that'd be my suggestion of where to start, okay? All right.
We've got some very old properties in this list that the county has obtained from tax sales from way back, that they have just been sitting here on the records and have not done anything with. They're county-owned properties now, they're off the tax rolls, and we really do need to look through those and see if we can get those back on the tax rolls.
Can Shirley get a copy of that so we can all get a copy? of
Yes,
that?
that's why I made this here and just made this so that someone can make a copy for everyone, and that you all have a complete list. As far as I know, this is as complete a list as I've got of all the county-owned properties.
I'll have her get a list, I've asked her to get a list, a copy of it, email it to everybody's email, okay?
It may not be.
Or come by and pick it up.
Yeah.
Anything else? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we have been asked to go into the executive session with the county attorney. So if you are not a member of this board, this CLB board, I would ask that you would step out for just a few minutes, please. Okay. All right, at this time, I'm gonna ask for a motion to suspend the rules. We have a motion, but, okay, it's, motion made by Ms. Blazer, second by Mr. Bright. Any questions on suspend the rules? If not, we'll vote at this time to suspend the rules. All right, that passed 14-0. And I will also entertain a motion at this time to transfer $20,000 from the animal control budget into the litigation fee budget. As soon as Ms. Lee gets this set up. All right, we have a motion by Mr. Estlinger, second by Ms. Blazer. Any questions? If not, vote at this time. That motion carried. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
A report from County Commissioners, if any. All right. The matter report from Cocke County Partnership. I know we were here earlier and had prior engagement had to leave. All I would say, if you got any questions, feel free to give those guys a call. Anybody in the partnership, if you have any questions for them, okay? The matter report for Priority Ambulance Service, copy was enclosed. Any questions on that? All right, the matter report from Cocke County Beautiful, that copy was enclosed. Any questions? Nothing from County Corrections Partnership Committee. New business. In a matter of setting the following speed limits, 2nd District, Riviera Drive at 25 miles per hour, submitted by by Mr. McAllister. Motion made by Mr. Hudson, second by Mr. McMahon. Any questions? If not, vote this time, please. That motion carried. B, in a matter of making confidential the identity of county vendors that protect electronic systems and data, Mr. Josh Blanchard. That copy is enclosed.
Good evening, and thank you. I sent you all a letter through county clerk's office. What it is that the state law allows for county governments to exempt certain information from being public, make it confidential. The state already does this, but each county would have to vote it in. In particular, it's the confidentiality of the names of certain vendors that protect sensitive information, such as voter registration software, computer IT vendors that protect all this sensitive information. So that's what I'm asking you to consider, and I thank you for your time. And again, the state already does it, but it's up to each of the 95 counties. Any questions?
Hey, in your opinion, should we do this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's only vendors, and it doesn't have anything to do like if you got a public records request, other than if it was for a vendor or something like that, right?
Right, and I can give you an example. Just short of a public records request, about 3 weeks ago, all 95 counties got an email. Tell us who your voter registration software vendor is. Tell us how you keep track of this and that. And if they would have, quite frankly, requested documents pertaining to that, it would have been a public records request. We would have given to them, the state has advised us, you know, it's up to your counties to shield these things. And these aren't Cocke County people going after, I should say that, seeking this information. These are Tennessee citizens hitting all 95 counties, working for who knows who, sitting in somebody's basement, compiling all of this.
We're trying to cause.
Some of the various little.
Any other questions? If not, we have a motion to approve by Mr. Vassar, seconded by Mr. Miller. Any questions at all? If not, vote this time, please. That motion carried. Anything under miscellaneous? Martin?
Are we about done, you saying we can say what something we can say or what?
Yeah.
I'd just like to thank the guys at the road department, the road scrapers and the salt guys, I don't know when Rick, but he's all right.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
We know they didn't come out for that.
There was a question about, next 911 board meeting. Right now, I think it's gonna be like February the 6th at 2:30, I think. Yeah, unless something changes. Okay? All right, that's all I have. Anybody got anything else? All right, motion to adjourn.